So it's August 22nd, 28 degrees. This is the Nechako River. And I'm in Wilson Park. I'm going for a swim. Come on. So this is what I do to cool off. Then I ride around on my motorcycle. Look around here. So I'm going to call today's feature me and my aero. I've been riding my 2014 Honda Shadow Aero a lot lately. I actually just did a road trip to a place called Karamias, BC. Well, Costin actually. I used to live there. And well, I went and put some flowers on my grandparents' gravesite in the Karamias cemetery because I'd never done that and I hadn't been there for 38 years. I took a 3-day trip and I stayed at friends in Princeton. They were very kind to put me up and put up with me. I hadn't seen them for quite a while, so it was nice to see them. What's weird is coming here and having this place to myself. Normally I'd never try to make a video here because there's almost always people here all the time. And there'll probably be some showing up soon. Somebody's here somewhere. But as you can see, there was a guy with a dog here when I first got here. So that's my 2014 Honda Shadow Aero 750. It's kind of could use a little shining up, but it looks pretty good on camera. But I can see, well, I really got a lot of bugs on it on my trip. So get this, I went 1,900 kilometers and it cost me $120 in gas. And that's, you know, using regular. That's what the manufacturer recommends for these bikes. So I got basically 25 kilometers per liter, or 100 kilometers per gallon. That's US gallon. These gas tanks are 14 liters. And they don't, these bikes, well, this year anyways, doesn't have a gas gauge. It's got a gas light. You see this yellow light here. When you get down to your bottom of your tank, that comes on. And your reserve is 3.5 liters, which gives you about 80 kilometers. So anyway, I could gas up and go 300 kilometers between fill-ups, no problem. And average fill-up was like $24 or less. So I believe I filled up 5 times. And that was the most miles, kilometers I put on in a single trip ever, you know, in such a short period. The first trip I ever did was with some friends a few years ago, and we did 2,400 kilometers, but that was over 6 days. This was only over 3 days, and it was 1,900 kilometers. These bikes have a very cushy seat. But even still, I was getting real saddle sore from, I had to stop and get off and walk around and bend and stretch. And anyways, I was still sore for a couple days after I got home because that was just too much. But I really wanted to see if I could do it. It was, as much as it sounds like it was a really rushed trip, I really tried not to push the speed limit anywhere. There was one point where it was up on the Coquihalla, and the speed limit's posted 120, and nobody drives 120 up there. I had it up to 140, which I think is the fastest I ever went, and on this bike. And people were passing me like I was parked. But anyways, I finally just, for the most part, stuck to the speed limit, or as close to it as possible, so as not to get speeding tickets. Nothing ruins a holiday like, oh, there must be a squirrel here. I see this. Oh yeah, look at this. There's a squirrel here. I've seen the bush shaking. What on earth? Maybe a chipmunk. It looks pretty small. Anyway, I guess he was just checking us out. So I haven't been riding my S40 much because, unfortunately, the rear mount under the gas tank on my S40 is broken. And I believe that the crack happened from my accident, and then just from not repairing that properly, it finally broke. So I did repair it once, but the piece of metal I used broke, so I got to use stronger steel. So anyway, I got to go back and do that, do it right. But the insurance is up on my Honda at the end of this month, which is, well, it's the 22nd of August, 2022. It's only a few days away now. So I'll really miss this bike. I'm going to have to park it for the winter in like 10 days, or less. But I can still ride my S40 for another month. But as long as the weather holds up. Anyways, I'll video a little bit of me riding out of here, I guess. I'll shut this off. I used to go to another spot under the overpass, but there's way too much activity there. So last time I was there, there was fish heads and fish tails and fish guts. Someone had cleaned at least 10 fish there and left the mess there in the shallows. It was pretty stinky. I didn't want to swim there. Even here, like, I wear earplugs when I ride. This bike's a little louder than S40, so going without earplugs is not an option. It's completely stock exhaust, but I sure wouldn't want a bike any louder than this. But I get ear infections from the water. Like this time of year, the salmon are running in the river, and the bacteria content is really high. I can actually smell the fish in the river, like from like a quarter of a mile away from the river. I can smell it, sometimes even further if the wind's right. Most people either can't smell it or don't pay attention, I don't know, but it's a real powerful smell to me. I mean, fish is a strong smell, right? How's it going? Yeah, well, people always show up. They always act like dicks if you're there, like, anyways. ride slow because I'm not wearing any gear other than my gloves and helmet. There's no point in being in a hurry. Summer's almost over here. This is kind of a nice spot. This is a nice spot to shut off the video. I don't know if I'll be making any more videos with my Honda or not this year. We'll see. Might do a short road trip locally, but yeah, it's season 2 short around here, and that's just the way it is. Anyway, that's all for today.